click.
We've got music now.
I love it.
I listen. I got nothing to talk about. I just was like, first of all, who are you? Are you Joe Miller? Should I introduce you as Joe Miller?
Ha ha. Josephus.
You got the Joe Miller hair.
It's Josephus Miller.
Well, I'm on season 3 right now, and who's popping up in Jim's dreams but Miller? And I'm like at a loss because I'm like, is this planned? Was this an Amazon thing? I don't even know when they went to Amazon.
Man, kid, you just keep running into shit, don't you? Shit just seems to find you, don't it, kid?
Jesus. Man.
Yeah, that's one of the best parts. So that's what they do in season 3 is still sci-fi. That's how cool it is. Yeah, it's still sci-fi. Season 4 is when they flip to Amazon. So in season 1, I really like the fact that it gets pushed into season 2 and that you don't get your completion of season 1 story until season 2. Well, they keep doing that and pushing completions and kind of cycling so you don't know where you are. And then you have Prax and Anna who come in, and then they're fantastic characters too.
They just left. They just left, and Amos's reaction to that was like heartbreaking. Because it's like, he even says it, he repeats back to him. He's like, he was my best friend in the entire world.
My best friend in the entire world. Man, when you said that line to me, I was like, yeah. Because I watched when Prax said that, to his daughter, and I was like, God, that's such a beautiful thing, man. It does. It hits. The line hits. And then for Amos to reiterate it, it's like, wow, Amos really did finally have a friend,
And that's all you want for him, is to have a friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just, watching this show, and again, we were kind of talking about it before, and not to dive too deep into The Expanse or what it was, but
I think we should dive all the way.
I do too. I mean, absolutely. I'm not against that, but I want to talk about a little bit. We were talking the other day about how, for me, I was always more about the positive side of sci-fi. So when you would watch a sci-fi show like Star Trek is very optimistic.
Yes, very.
And nothing it wasn't very realistic, and I understand the irony to that. I've said this, but it wasn't very realistic in the things that it used and how things worked. It became a reality.
Yes.
Tablets, things like that, which I think are amazing. Which I think was what sci-fi is supposed to do. It's supposed to inspire us to move forward into an optimistic place.
Absolutely.
So when I go back and I think about a lot of more realistic sci-fi, like Alien, that's one that sticks out to me, or Aliens. The Expanse, absolutely, and there's others as well. It's always funny to me that they're always kind of not too far away from when we were living. Yeah,
right. Just it seems like it could be close. If maybe we had focused our government's money in different areas, maybe we would be closer to certain things. That's always plausible. As a society, if we had agreed that we don't want just convenience, but we want to actually move ourselves and further humanity, that could be a thing.
Like with The Expanse, everything that's going on in The Expanse is that's on track. That checks out. This is what humanity would do.
I mean, for the most part, if you are finally a culture moving forward through the stars, I mean, of course, something like that is going to happen. You're going to separate yourselves. There's going to be a Mars colony that after generations of being screwed over by Earth is going to go, we're done with you. You don't understand what it's like out here. And then there's going to be a generation of Belters who are going to say, well, screw you guys. You've just been taking all of our resources, and, we have to pay for water and air to live. We have to pay these absurd amounts of money that aren't even working. Like in that early scene in episode 1 with the scumlord who winds up not cleaning the air filters. So people are getting sick like crazy. I mean, that alone.
It's so odd to me too, because you watch that and you're like, this sucks. Like, this sucks that it's got to be like this. But you're like, again, like I say, you're almost like, yeah, but it is kind of like this.
It is like that. That's the thing, is nothing about any of these shows, Firefly, all of them. Those are all potentially where we could wind up. I could totally see that. And because of the nature, they do such a good job giving us what human nature is. And that human nature is, unfortunately, they're scumbags. There are people who want more, and they, whether they're driven by jealousy or greed or whatever it may be, or some sort of lustful desire, there is always that negative part that comes into play that has to be accounted for. And Star Trek even does a good job doing that.
Well, the funny thing is, like, yeah, Star Trek. So when I watch these shows, like, so I'm watching The Expanse, and to me, I'm watching it and I'm like, this is the step before Star Trek.
Yeah.
Whereas to me, like, you watch Enterprise and they almost treat that like that's the step before. This is the step before that. This is where I think like if you get First Contact, they're going to turn around and say, all right, start colonizing. Mm-hmm. Here's your technology. Let's do this. Let's get this together and start doing it. And then it's Earth sort of becomes like The Expanse, and then maybe the other parts of the Federation step in and are like, you gotta cool this out, and then like it starts becoming a training process, but it becomes maybe hundreds of years of this and some more war. Like, I would believe that before like what we get in Star Trek, which is like there was a plague on Earth and this, that, and the other thing. Like, I could see it being advanced more. And I think that's what Star Trek is missing, is like there was no middle road.
Well, that was the fun part with their middle road, because they came out of World War III. That was the whole thing, is the reason they wanted to change their society to the direction they did is because there were fewer people. We had decimated so many in World War III, having a nuclear war, that, nations didn't even exist anymore. It was factions. So it was much easier to bring together a group of people when there aren't nations. So it's the idea that it's the phoenix that rises from the ashes. Hence Zephram Cochrane's ship is named the Phoenix. The whole idea is, as a society, as humanity, we grow from that experience, from literally the ashes of just nearly wiping ourselves out.
Yeah.
So that is kind of where the different middle ground is. That's why there's more hope. There's more future, because they're trying for it. Whereas with this series, with The Expanse, you don't have a first contact. The first contact is a proto-molecule. That's the first time we've seen something alien. So even though the Belters are becoming their own civilization and essentially an alien culture, they're still humans. At the end of the day, we're all still humans. We all came from Earth. However we populated and however we grew out and wherever we claim, we're still Earthers. So it's kind of interesting to see how that changes, and the different technology that would change us, and depending on who we meet first. Unfortunately, with The Expanse, it's almost like we got out ahead of ourselves before meeting everyone and learning the technology. So basic human greed still takes over. And it's also great that you have something to cheer for in each and every faction, and something that's absolutely disgusting in each and every faction. So it's like, I don't know if I really want to be anywhere in this series. It's fun to watch and be along for the ride. I'd rather, like in Firefly, I'd rather just be on a ship dicking around out in the cosmos.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, to me, Firefly was so much a Western.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
That even like in space, like when that one episode where they were stuck, they were just stranded in space.
Out of gas.
Out of gas. Yeah, that's right. That's the name of the episode. And it's a wildly famous episode. I think one of the most popular, and for good reason.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal episode. I mean, they are able to tell so much of the story within one episode. So you now understand the way the crew feels about each other throughout the entirety of that episode. You understand where they come from, how the ship came to be. And it really gives the ship its own character, which I think is important. I mean, the same thing that The Expanse does with the Rocinante. It gives it, they talk to it. it's wonderful, you know, and it kind of replies, but it's more or less like just magical, perfect timing. It's great how it kind of does that.
And you know, honestly, like you know, I do like that the Rocinante is a character in
Mm.
this, like 100%, and that's fantastic, and they do play it up really well. I think my biggest feelings on it are it kind of just it's so kind of all over the place in certain areas. Now, again, not saying that's a bad thing or it's hard to follow in any way. You know, the show is relatively easy, but like it goes so all over the place. You don't know who to root for. So I'm glad that they did add the Rocinante. Like that is your main rooting faction.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because we're Earthlings, and I'm still like, but I don't agree. And then you get to you agree with the Martians at some point, and you're like, oh, the Martians are kind of open, and you know, even though they're a military faction, they're honorable. And then they'll do some stuff, but they created the protomolecule.
Yeah, they were some of the ones who well, the Earthers are the ones who linked up to create that. Like you have Mars who created the stealth ships and that technology, and then you have the Earthers who were responsible for the protomolecule was Jules Pierre Mao and Aaron Wright. And so then you just it's kind of wild to see that. But then Mars, as soon as they get their hands on it, they weaponize it. Like anyone who gets a hold of this, everyone has blood on their hands. I think is the best way to put it there. Everyone does. OPA especially. You haven't even gotten to the OPA focus stuff yet.
I mean, yeah. I mean, because like season 3, like they've been talking about the OPA. You meet Fred Johnson through it and stuff like that. But really, when it comes down to it, like you don't. We're still building because what's his name?
Anderson Dawes.
Anderson Dawes, yeah.
Who Jared Harris, by the way, fucking nails it. I love that actor so much. I am so bummed that he is such a busy man that he couldn't come back and do more for The Expanse.
I am a little bummed to know that he's not coming back.
Yeah.
Like I've seen my last. I'm glad they're still acknowledging him.
I think he has 1 or 2 more scenes in Amazon's series, I believe, but only like a couple scenes. That's it. But yeah, they have to because Dawes in the books is like the leader of the OPA.
Yeah, I'd almost kind of wished because again only being on season 3 and things sort of just changed. Mm-hmm. So they're building the Belter Society right now, the ship for it. Mm-hmm. So I know it's going to kind of go that route where they're convening to create this world safe for Belters and where they'll have their own seat at the table. And I dig that, but I really think you need Anderson there. Like I wish he would have, and it feels like it's left out, like they're trying to fill the void with other characters, and even Fred Johnson not being there. You know, because he's missing from it now too.
Yeah. The Fred Johnson piece, he disappears for a little bit and then reappears. And what they did is they actually took comedic drummer David Strathairn's character Ashford, and then Fred Johnson, and just kind of amalgamated all the parts of Dawes amongst them, which ties up much cleaner around season 5. You kind of get the full, okay, we know where we stand now.
I'd almost wish, like, rather than bring this new character in, they just recast him. Because David Strathairn could be Anderson Dawes. He could take over.
Oh, yeah.
He's a strong actor, just like Jared Harris. And the way they have him, he kind of looks like Anderson Dawes.
They kind of did that on purpose too, because they apparently Ashford in the book is like a chapter.
Oh, really? Just that's it?
Yeah, dude. He's like he's important only to know that how big he was as a pirate, and as going from an OPA pirate to hey, we were pirates because that was how we survived. Now we have a chance to actually be a society. We got to figure this shit out, people. Like that's a good point of his character, and that's what Dawes was trying to get. And I think Harris shows that, but Jared Harris does it from a way where he's a mob boss.
Yeah. And I like that. I think that makes a lot of sense. And it works out well, in my opinion, that they have this mob boss who was able to take over because that's what they were essentially just a mob.
That's the thing, is they were just dudes, and someone got tired of watching this mob get smoked. Anderson Station, now that you kind of know more about that,
Yeah.
Anderson Station was kind of the impetus for Anderson Dawes coming to power the way he did and going, nah, guys, we're not doing this right.
Yeah. And I like that he played that up too. Like, I mean, and the big thing about the Belters that I'm really enjoying in Naomi and what she's doing, it's sad to see her separated.
Yeah.
I love that we're doing a live and it's just been talk about the Expanse, which I'm okay with. I don't give a shit. We do whatever we want on our channel.
Exactly.
But like, I love, like, remember we talked about Naomi and I was just like, I don't know if I like her. I don't know. And that was the first episode. And then like she's grown on me so much. I'm just like, Naomi, I love what you're doing and I love how loyal you are, but please get back to the restaurant. I need you.
That was my feeling the moment I saw her. I was like, come on. And the moment she has with Kamina Drummer, which I don't believe you've gotten there yet, then if that's what you're saying, is it's pretty special because like I love that everyone on the belt sees Naomi as a fucking hero of the belt because at this point she has been. She helped Series. She was part of the Rossi crew. And she was a former OPA member who kind of came back into the fold. So everyone's really happy to have her, and she's fantastic. One of the best engineers in the fleet, hands down.
Yeah.
The woman's able to tear a ship apart, put it back together with nothing, with bubblegum and duct tape. And the thing that threw me was her relationship with Holden. You know, because it's like, if you guys love each other and I love you two together, why in the world do you keep going in and out?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? And then it's a beautiful part of even just understanding relationships that if you love someone unconditionally, you have to let them go live their lives. And it's that whole letting someone go kind of thing. It's hard, but also doable. And, you know, and especially in that scenario, because she gave the proto molecule to Fred. So everyone's pissed at her. They're like, dude, you didn't even tell us. You just did it.
Well, the thing I liked about that the most too, and it seemed really good and well put together as character-wise development, is that yes, they were pissed, but they forgave her. They're like, we get it, we understand it, we see your loyalty. And then when it realizes she has to leave because she's like, this is too important, and this is who I am. You know, I need to help the Belters get there. So when she does leave, I love that there is no resentment. It's just missing. It's just you're missing a piece and you want it back. But you, like you said, the unconditional love that goes in, and it's like, but you're doing exactly what you need to be doing. Because this whole world is no longer a world. It's a galaxy universe. It's so expanded, for lack of a better phrase. Even like when Prax says, like, this is Amos, he's my very best friend in the whole wide world. And then, which Amos repeats later, it's like they're still using the word world. And none of them live on a world. It's not like, like even Prax and his daughter, they're not from a world.
Nope. They
live on a space station. You know? So it's amazing to me that like that nomenclature still exists, and I don't think that was done accidentally.
No, that's very purposeful because the world, I mean, if you think about it, your world is your world. Whatever you create within your world is your world. So the very best friend in your world is whomever you've decided they are. And Prax saying that line about Amos is so beautiful. And then Amos repeating it is just fantastic. That is one of my favorite parts in this whole thing, is the relationship building. I think it's fantastic.
Well, I think the thing I liked about that, when Prax said it, Amos was taken aback. Wow, I've had an effect on this guy's life, to the point where he trusts me to take his daughter. So his daughter
that he just spent months trying to get out there and find, you know, has done everything in his power, learned how to kill, learned how to work on a ship, helped become a crew. Like, and that's another thing too, is when Naomi leaves, they do mention that they, like, you know, there's supposed to be 4 on your crew. Where's the 4th? And he's like, yeah, she's just off right now. She's still part of the crew. You know, the Holden handles that perfectly. Like, he's like, nah, she's just absent right now.
Which that documentary crew is throwing me, like, everything from episode 6 just to episode 7. I'm like, this is a whole new season. You just ended your season and you're picking up, and it's still the same season.
Well, you got to remember, Sci-Fi, they had mid-season breaks too.
Oh, that's true.
So that was always, they timed all of those episodes before their breaks. So it kind of sucks because you can see that now, like, versus Amazon, where it's, you know, the streaming platform. So it is different in the pacing. I will say
Yeah.
that. I think that's the largest notable difference is the pacing, and in season 4 especially, there's some color tones that they use that change. But that's to give you an alien feel. You'll understand that once you get there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely gearing up, it took a turn in a crazy direction, which I enjoyed. But at the same time, I was like, I'm still with you.
Yeah.
Like it was very jarring for a few seconds because when they came back, I'm like, wait, she's back on Earth. Like Chris is back on Earth, and
Mhm.
all of this stuff, and you're like, all right, so they're just jumping forward.
Yeah, and they kind of had
And
to. And you
yeah,
understand that when you realize the price tag of that show and exactly what they had to do to jump to the next part, it logically made sense to pump the story out as much and as fast as they could.
I love the ring just showing up.
Yeah, that big old like squid thing popping off Venus. I love there's nothing better than Amos surrounded by children, pouring them cereal and going, "What the fuck?"
That was that might be my favorite scene so far. Was just like I'm like, first of all, you put Amos in charge of the kids. Like I'm not
Yes.
like Amos. Those kids are never more safe than with Amos in the room with them.
He will
I
defend
got
them to the end.
I got no doubt.
Mhm.
But on that ship, they're already incredibly safe.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not in real life with Cass Anwar running around, but hindsight's 2020, my friend.
Yeah, right.
But in the fictional world of The Expanse, they are never more safe than on that ship. They are
Absolutely true.
going
I
to
mean, you have
be,
people who all believe in the idea of keeping innocents safe. That's I think their big guiding
yeah,
their main guiding star is that everything and everyone innocent must remain safe and protected.
yeah. And for me, so like when I go back and and see that scene, I'm like, I know Amos just feeding them. He's like, all right, I'm just gonna make him some cereal, but I'm
Yeah.
still like if I'm thinking it's gonna be Alex who's doing that.
I mean, theoretically, but who's gonna fly the ship, bro?
Or even
That's
at
the
that
thing.
point, Naomi too. Like Naomi's like friendly and such too to be able to do that. You're right. Like who's going to be flying the ship? But it's not that I don't see that Amos. They're going to be safe with Amos. They're going to be cared for. But it's just the thought of him pouring the milk. I'm like, I loved it, and it was great for the character, and I'm glad they did it that way. But I'm like, this is a little jarring. I was like, Amos is the one like doing this, but it's just because he's a brutal, vicious killer when he needs to be.
He's that guy, but that's
Yeah,
the beauty of it is understanding. And once again, this is all it comes more full circles from season 5. So they have stuff where he interacts, and you get to learn more about where he comes from. You get to kind of see his backstory and understand that, oh, he's only really, and he brings it up actually in season 1 when he's talking about the brothels, when he's like, I was raised in a place like this. What's wrong with it?
yeah,
You know,
and
he's very matter of fact, and he had a lot of people take care of him, and so he understands the importance of taking care of the innocent, protecting those. But there are very firm lines on when you cross that line, death is an option, and it's not like, oh, I could kill you. No, in his mind, he's saying, no, you cross that line, now you die. That's pure and simple.
that is the line. Like he has
Mhm.
so many lines. Like if you stay within here, you're good.
Yeah.
You push too far forward, you got to go.
Yeah, and it's funny too. Like, I mean, he does it with Simi, fucking Miller's bro.
Yeah.
Like that was hard, but the moment he drew a gun down on Naomi,
And
no.
in the way he talked about it, matter of fact, he was like, listen, your buddy pulled a gun and I took care of it. That's the
Yep.
way this works. And I loved Miller's take on it, but even like when he was beating the crap out of Miller, it was done without malice.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, he even tells him stay down. He's
Yeah.
like, "Are we done?" Like I mean, he gave him a shot, and I really do love that Miller did what he had to do, and Amos knew he would. He's like, "That was one of your best friends. If we're gonna have a problem, let's deal with it." And they do.
Yep. Oh
He's
yeah.
like, "Great."
But that's the thing. I think I love those reactions seem so real to me and genuine
Mhm.
because like like I said this, I was like, and not to sound like stupid or anything like, or full of myself or anything like that. But like, I understand Amos.
Mhm.
I know what being that monster is like. If you need to be, if it comes to the point where I have to be, I know what I'm capable of. And part of me is like, since I've, softened from marriage and kids and things like that, I'm like, I know what's inside. I know what I can do if I need to. But like, I just want Amos to get there and like have a family, because like he deserves it. It's like you deserve to be that soft bear at one point. I'm not saying that's going to happen, and I don't want to know.
No, I'm absolutely not telling you. I'm just sitting there smiling because I'm loving what you're going to see from him, and let's just say Wes Chatham just absolutely fucking destroys this role. He is so good at emoting, at just making you feel everything, making you understand where Amos comes from, giving you his character without ever having to really tell you anything. Yep. That's the beauty of it. Whereas like Alex, you kind of get told his story in a way, and it's only from a short few lines that you understand everything you need to know about him. A guy who had a family, wasn't a real family guy. He was more of going out and doing his thing. He was a military pilot. So of course, all he wants to do is fly. The stars are where he belongs. He's not a planet bound guy. And it's unfortunate that he learned that later in life and hurt other people along the way. Yet at the same time, he's on a ship that's helped save the entire planet, a couple planets, and a station. Like, he's done a whole lot, and yet you still can't look at him as a good character because he screwed over his wife and kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard. Everyone is damaged to a point that you want to cheer for them, but you also go, oh, you're kind of a piece of shit. I mean, you pulled it together, but you're kind of a piece of shit. I mean, Holden is the closest one to being, clean, but he's not, because he's the one giving the orders to do all those things for the most part. So,
and he's human too. He has the feelings, he has the emotions, and it's such a deep thing. And to see how he grew up, and it was only through the conversation with his mother and Chris, and just to get an idea of who Holden is, and that it's not that he's self-righteous, it's that he just believes right and wrong. And sometimes that gets skewed because he thinks like when he's going to try and kill the proto-molecule man that was on the space station, and it got on the ship. When he's so hell-bent on, I don't even care if it's your daughter, it's not your daughter anymore, we got to kill this thing. He truly thinks this is the right thing in the moment. I have to do this. If I don't do this, so many more people will die. And I love how when it comes down to it, you have Naomi like sitting there on the complete other side trying to help these people and say, this is the right thing. This is how we save people, because we can't stop that. The wheels are in motion. This is how we get people out. And it's proven 100% right. And I love that Holden can be wrong through that.
Exactly. And that's the beauty, is he can be wrong, and yet everyone still understands that he's not coming from a point of doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? He's coming from the point of, like, he's trying to do the right thing. And everyone on that crew is trying to do the right thing, except Amos. Amos's only goal is to support and defend the people he cares about, that he has created in his own like family. He's the protector. He's your muscle. He's your Ben Grimm.
But it extends. Amos's feelings of family extends when he starts trusting you. Because even with Miller, even through their turmoil, he started trusting him, and he became part of that. He was an extension of it, and I dug that. And then Prax, and then his daughter, of course, by association, and you're gonna see so much more. Like right now, like he's even starting to connect with the documentary crew, and you can see like maybe he doesn't like them, maybe he doesn't want to talk to them, but they're on his ship. And when they're on his ship, you get safe passage.
God, have you gotten to the point where they both try to like all seductive on him? I love that so much.
I want to just say this though, because I'm having so much fun talking about it. The kids have early dismissal, so I do have to go in a few minutes.
Okay.
But AJ just joined up.
What's up, buddy?
AJ, want to say what's going on, brother? Sorry you didn't get the notification. This was more of I wanted to talk to Casey about anything, but really like we got right into the Expanse, which is probably going to be what it is during my whole ride. Screaming Firehawks.
Screaming Firehawks, baby.
I love it. Oh, dude, did I show you this? Look what I got.
Oh my God, that's freaking awesome.
It's so heavy too. I love it. I jammed my hand here and I thought I cut it. I was like, is it? And like, it was so weird because like I jammed it and it hit right here, and I was like, am I bleeding? Like with excitement. Like, does this thing make people bleed? Is it Stormbreaker? I picked it up yesterday at Time Traveler. I walked in. Quick story before I got to go, but so I walked into Time Traveler and I'm talking to him, and we're just BSing. And he had a Deadpool head, and it's an animated Deadpool head that talks. It knows over 650 phrases or something like that, and you can download an app and program more.
Okay, so definitely not something you can have around your children.
It's so amazing because it's like animated. It moves. His eyes move. His mouth moves when he talks. Like it sounds like Ryan Reynolds. You're like, this is odd. And I was like, I kind of want it, you know. And he's like, yeah, I got this. He's like, I got a bunch of Marvel stuff, and then like the Infinity Gauntlet's there,
Nice.
Which I may have to go back for. An Ant-Man helmet. He's like, I got another Deadpool head in the box. I was like, this is amazing. And then his partner rolls up and he's like, he got Stormbreaker in the window. His wife put it there the other day. And I walked right outside and looked. And I was like, I'll take it. I was like, because I got the shield. And like, there are certain things that I want to add to the collection. And I was like, that Stormbreaker is definitely on that list.
Well, now, and you've got a perfect spot right over there, right behind your head, above the shield, right there, directly in line.
I love my pops, but I may even like push the pops off with Stormbreaker. Just put it there.
Make it really dramatic.
Yeah. I'm sorry, pops, but we have to let go.
Yeah. Oh no! What you do is you put up all the evil pops and then just strike them down with Stormbreaker.
Got Dr. Doom up there ready to go.
Boom! Knock him down.
I don't know about Galactus. Galactus is pretty tough. You might not be able
he's a bit bigger than the Stormbreaker, but yeah, whatever.
No, but I got excited for it. I'm like, oh, dude, this is amazing. And I've been just kind of wielding it. I know that's weird to say, but like I have been walking around just like, yeah, I'm Thor.
No, I mean it makes sense. I mean you were Mjolnir Thor, and now you've grown, and you've built yourself into a different person. You know.
Did you see my Facebook post?
Yeah, I did.
You either die somewhat fat Thor or live long enough to see you become really fat Thor. Oh my god, I was so excited for it too. I was just like, Stormbreaker. I still have that Mjolnir too. That's not like legit. I want to get a legit one.
Got to get a legit one, bro.
Dude, when I bought this, it didn't come in a box, so I got a good discount on it. And it's fine. It's in great condition. I expected it and everything, but it didn't come in a box. And I was like, dude, I can't walk down Old Town in Winchester with this. I was like, you got a garbage bag or something I can put over it? I was like, can you imagine the news report where it's just like police scanner like picks up and it's just like, we have reports of a giant walking down Winchester Walking Mall with an axe.
Are you kidding me? You'd have more people show up just to see who it is because they'd want to know. They'd be like, someone's filming something. It's got to be it.
Somebody snaps a picture and it's just like me, like in the like Bigfoot pose with like Stormbreaker over my like shoulder. And it's just like, what is happening in downtown?
I also like the idea of the real world pose of you with the disgruntled Ben Affleck look, holding Stormbreaker like, waiting for your kids or something. Just
I was Daredevil once. All right, it is 12:13. Are you home today or are you working?
I am.
Maybe another impromptu live later.
I like it. Well, I mean, we've already knocked one out on The Expanse, which if we fire one back up, there's a chance that we're just going to keep talking about The Expanse because it's the greatest show.
I'm not against that. I like AJ said that would have been good publicity for the show. Yeah, just a giant walking around with Thor's like axe
with the Scene Snobs hat on.
And I did have that's a great point. I did have my Scene Snobs hat on, so like people were just like, what is this guy doing?
What is this about? Like, oh no, see, it'll be even better next time. So you pull out Stormbreaker, give me the shield, and we'll just randomly start at different ends of Old Town Winchester.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. I love that. I love that. Oh, no, not the shield. I got to get that gauntlet.
Oh,
you just walk down with the gauntlet. He's just rolling around. People are just like, what is he doing? Is he going to snap or what?
Just wandering with the gauntlet every once in a while. Like, nah.
You look at people and you're just like, No, not right now.
Uh,
Not right now. Maybe later. And then just people are just like freaking out, like, I don't want that.
We're so scared. What's he doing? Ah!
Oh, all right. Let me go pick up these Rugrats. I love them, but gotta go get them in the snow.
You do that, and I'm gonna go like shower so that my sweet mohawk will continue doing whatever it's doing. It's not even a mohawk at this point now. It's just hair.
Well, you gotta
all
gel
over.
it. Once you gel it, it will be.
That's fair. All right, come back so we can. I can have a gelled mohawk.
I'll shoot you a link later. So I think only AJ is watching, and that's why we love you. So yeah, AJ, we might do a show later. So keep a lookout. I'll talk to you
and
guys.
if anyone else has checked us out, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. We'll see you later.
I'm just gonna run the credits and then get out. If I can find them. There we go. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. I'm the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan. You can check out the Scene Snobs podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel or all podcast platforms afterwards. Also on our YouTube channel, you can check out great shows like Real Combat, the ultimate debate show for movie lovers, mixed movie picks with new recommendations every week, Geek Fest live every Sunday night, and new movie reviews and news all the time. Like and subscribe, then hit the notification bell so you know when all of our new episodes drop. Thank you so much to all of our amazing Patreon supporters, with whom this would not be possible. They help keep the lights on and support us in such big ways. If you would like to become a supporter on our Patreon and take advantage of all the perks like monthly giveaways, early access, and so much more, head on over to the Scene Snobs Patreon page and just sign up on one of our 2 tiers. Join our awesome community of geeks, movie lovers, and so much more, and join up on our Discord. The Scene Snobs Discord is now live, and you can head over to thescenesnobs.com for links to there and more. The Scene Snobs merch store is now open with original fun designs that are available on all different types of merch and apparel. Check out thescenesnobsmerch.com. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to all of our social media accounts like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so many more. We have fun updates, topics, we talk about collectibles, and so much more on there. It's a great time. You can find all of our links to everything on thescenesnobs.com or on our link tree, which are down in the descriptions below. Thanks again, everyone. Stay tuned and stay geeky.
This is the end, my only friend. The end.
Shut up, Casey. All right,
Never.
I gotta go.
Later, dude.